Alright folks, looks like we are live on Twitch once again hunting for shiny Corvisquire, currently on 1600 encounters, and trying to avoid all these Boltund. We'll see if it happens. What is going on, y'all? Kyle, Alex, Amon, how you doing? Appreciate y'all coming out today. Debbie, I thought about that. I thought about what if these people thought I was making an April Fool's joke. No, I wasn't. I needed a break yesterday, and it was good to have one. So I should have clarified. I don't know. I think if you double down, somehow people aren't going to believe you even more. Anyway, D, how you doing? Reactive Raichu, that is up to you. Give me a sec, though, because I got to spread the word. I got to tweet that out. Got to let everybody on the YouTube know. I got to let everybody on the Discord know that we are live sending this out presently. Cool. Let's get it done. Hopefully today's the day, guys. I don't really want to sit here hunting this Corvisquire too much longer. I want to move on to something else. It's been too long between the Coco and the Corvisquire and all this kind of stuff. I just need something else, man. Debbie, I'm glad you enjoyed the video, and Alex, I'm glad you enjoyed it too, man. I had a lot of fun making it. Yeah, I don't know. Had a lot of fun making it. That's all I'm gonna say about it. Superblade, what's going on, man? Deadly Husky, how you doing? Kyle Javier, what is going on, guys? Kyle got your Azumarill. I assume that means Azumarill, which is awesome. I know there's that event going on, which is never really an event for a Pokemon I need. It's always for something that like doesn't apply to the form decks, or something that I don't need for the shiny decks, or I don't know. Point is that I rarely participate in these events somehow. Amon, that was quick. No worries, man. Work is definitely important. We'll catch you next time, dude. Ooh, Reactive Raichu got your original color Magearna. Finished up that Pokedex. Not bad. I'm still missing some stuff, I think. I gotta open up my Pokemon bank and see what's still there at some point. Pokeboy says you, man. That's why you gotta vote. Vote with your channel points. Vote with your dollar, as it were. We're gonna see if I actually do get the shiny Corvisquire today. We're gonna try it out. I'm over 1600 encounters. This is a lot of encounters. I think we'll get a couple hundred more. Maybe all the way up to 300. I don't know. We're gonna find out. I hope I don't, like, reach 2,000. I hope I don't hit double odds. I really don't need to be hitting double odds over here, man. Oh, Deadly Husky, that sucks, man. I'm sorry to hear it. Hopefully next time, man. Nephtaleem, how you doing, dude? Appreciate you coming out today. And, Persona, what's going on? Shit, Reactive Raichu for real? 2,800? And after, like, how many freaking Quillfish you found? Like, what is going on with your game? I don't want my game. I do not want my game to return that kind of state. I was there. I've been there. I've gone days and days, even weeks, finding not shiny after not shiny. 3,800 for the Quillfish. Holy shit. That is awful. I really hope you get something there, man. Hopefully today. Today's the day. Silky Terrier, how you doing, man? Good to see ya. And Deadly Husky, you're like 30 runs in. Wasn't you have an app, but you weren't keeping track. Gotcha. Okay. Well, I hope it works out for you, man. Got the Azumarill 2 raids last night. Not bad. Not bad. Azumarill's a nice shiny. I was seeing everybody's Azumarill on Twitter and the Shiny Pokemon subreddit and whatever, and it just reminded me how nice a shiny that was. It is a legitimately, like, a nicer gold than most shinies get. And I really like that. They're really deep gold colors. It's good looking, man. Pokeboy faced on a Sliggoo trying to get the Shiny Harvest Execute. That's a pretty good phase. That's not very common. Josh, you got something interesting in picks? No, general. Alright, I'll check it out, man. Axolotl, good to see you, man. And Javier, what are the odds? The odds are 1 in 1365. And that's just Shiny Charm. With Murder Method, I'm technically a little bit above that. Yes, Deadly Husky. The Azumarill is 2% out of 5-star dens. So 2% of every 5-star den you find is going to be a shiny Azumarill. But it's up to you to find that dead. That's all it is, man. Well, Kyle, it should take you 55-star water rabbits. But, you know, regardless, I'm glad you got it eventually. That's the important part. The important part is that you got it. Yeah. Yeah, and it's every 55-star den, so if you don't get a den that's 5-star, it kind of doesn't count. But, alright, I'm looking for what Josh Day has found that is so very interesting. And someone found files for... Excuse me, we're good. Shit. Somebody found files for Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. Doubt it. I think that's a late April Fool's joke. How dare you try to fool me on not April Fool's, man? What is wrong with you? Who do you think you are? I'm not even gonna click on it. So, why did it be a fucking Rickroll or some shit? I'm not gonna do it. You can't trick me on not April Fool's Day. How dare you? Dude, that's true, man. I'm gonna get my face cam going. Now I can't. All my sneezes are gonna be on camera. Alright? They're all gonna be on camera. Even if I mute it, you're still gonna see me sneeze on camera. Josh, it was a Rickroll? See, I told you. Come on, man. This ain't my first rodeo. This ain't my first go around the block. Alright? What do you think you're dealing with over here, man? Come on. Reactive Raichu, Gen 7 didn't have fossils. But you're not wrong. Gen 2 didn't have fossils either. And I wonder if it's one of those things if they were trying to figure out whether or not that was going to be a permanent feature of the games or not. But yeah, it's too bad, because I would have loved fossils. I think maybe because Johto is also so connected with Kanto that they, you know, the fossils work for both the regions or something. I don't know. It's probably just that they either didn't have the time or didn't have good designs or didn't want it to be a permanent feature and then later decided to make it a more permanent feature. It's got to be one of those things. Cesar, I saw your shiny Skuntank. That thing looks good, man. A reactive Raichu, is that true? You can't restore any fossils in Gen 2. There's no, you can't walk into... What happens when you go into Mount Moon? Are there no fossils in Mount Moon? Huh. Weird. But you can transfer them in from, or trade them from Red and Blue. They're in the game somehow. Like they have sprites and everything like that. Somehow. The lab was destroyed in Cinnabar. Weird. That's right. Huh. That's true. I forgot that Cinnabar Island, they just decided, oops, a volcano was here. And then, in no other game did they, like, ever mention it again. I don't even know if it's like that in Heart Gold Soul Silver. I honestly forget. Oops. When will I be streaming my playthrough of BDSP? No, I do not stream my Pokemon playthroughs anymore. I did it once, and, I hated it. I felt the need to be on all the time. I did, like, you know, several 8 to 10 hour streams plus in a row, and I just did not have fun. And that's a huge part of Pokemon to me, is having fun. It's part of why I never like to view Pokemon as my job. It's always my hobby, because I love it so much. So, I will play BDSP at my own pace. I'll do some shiny hunting when I feel like it. And that's just how it's gonna be. That's all that's gonna happen. No. Ah, god damn it. Well, Hashcorrect, that's because Let's Go Pikachu is based more off Pokemon Yellow, where that didn't really happen either, so... I don't know. Sally Dash, I think in BDSP, I think we're gonna get... I think Poke Radar is gonna come back, and I'm actually looking forward to it. I would do some BDSP Poke Radar. There's Pokemon I need for the form decks. Burmy. Ooh, I can do all my Burmy forms with Poke Radar. Right? Cause Burmy is available in just like the random grass sometimes, right? It's not only in Headbutt trees. It's not Headbutt exclusive or whatever, or honey or whatever they call it, right? That'd be very sad if it was. I want to do all my Burmies, man. Anyway. Persona, your favorite April Fool's joke that you heard was from the comments on the video. They said, have you heard that Kangas Kid hacks this Pokemon? That is, there was a thought in my head, and maybe this is a future April Fool's joke. And nobody's gonna remember that I said it here today. 1 year from now, that my April Fool's joke is gonna be like, hey, I reveal that my shiny Dex is entirely fake, and A-Drive is the best ever, and only, you know, only pay attention to A-Drive because he knows what he's seen a lot of shinies, so he knows what he's doing. That would be an April Fool's joke. Next year, you watch. It's gonna be a thing. Marco, Burmy was a Honey Tree exclusive. Oh, good. Fuck. Well, I guess I'm gonna be doing a lot of Honey Tree shit. That's gonna be awesome. I need my Burmies, man. I need Burmies. That's so lame. Galacticuna, rename all my Pokemon something for April Fools. What? Am I supposed to use my imagination there? No. Oh, my imagination went to dark places. Fun! Mantagoro, so my Kangas Kid character does not have, human ears inside the normal ears. No, they're just, I don't know, they're on the actual Kangas Kid design. They're just little spikes on the side of the Kangas Kid character's head. I don't know why they're there, but they're there, man. Persona, no. How about no shiny cheers? Let's not do that, man. We're not gonna do any shiny squirrels or any kind of other shiny. I don't even have to look for Indeedee. Actually, it's funny now that I got Indeedee. Right? I got my shiny Indeedee, and since then, I haven't seen a single Indeedee spawn at all today. Oh, Reactive Raichu, that would actually be pretty funny. I like that. I can say all my shinies are originally from Machamps.com, and then I hacked them to change the name. And my entire shiny dex is a fraud. Great. I see, Galacticuna. Well, if it has .com on the end, you cannot be surprised that Twitch tried to make it a link. That's just a thing. Blade Inferior, what's going on, man? And Kyle, you think that Dale is a false prophet? How are you hating on Dale? Dale is kind of adorable. I like it. Dale looks like, you know, I don't know. Has a lot in common with the current, like, animation style that's very popular today in cartoons and stuff. It looks kind of cool, man. E-Rock, I'm doing well. It was very nice to take some time off yesterday. I'll tell you what the biggest thing is. The thing that made me happiest yesterday, and this is so, I don't know, kind of dumb, but I showed my buddy, who really doesn't know anything, or not anything, but he didn't know that much about Pokemon. I showed him my April Fool's video, and he still laughed his ass off anyway. And that meant a lot. That meant, I mean, to me, that means I did a good job with it. So I was very happy with that. So it was a good day. It was chill, and I liked it. But now I'm ready to get back to shiny hunting a little bit. Josh, is Dale the false prophet? Is that like is that like when you think you're making money but you're not? Is it false prophet like when you spend money on your credit card and somehow they magically like give you money back, like extra money just appears after you spend money? Debbie, you had no clue what I was talking about, but you still loved it. That's good. That means a lot. It does. It was, yeah, one of my more creative outlets recently. I thought it was kind of fun. Okay, boy, you like that one? That part was super hard to animate together. And then I really wanted to have a friggin' sound clip of Michael Jackson saying "Shimon," and you have no idea how long I listened to. I tried to find a vocal isolated track of Michael Jackson's Bad, just so I could clip out the word Shimon. You have no idea. I don't know. Maybe some people do have some idea how ridiculously difficult video editing is sometimes. And I think I'm like a perfectionist about some things. And especially I just like, well, I gotta have Shimon in this video. I spent like an hour looking for the single sound clip of Shimon. It was so dumb. But okay, boy, I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad you liked it. Exactly. Am I Kangas uncle yet? No, I'm not an uncle yet. I'm not an uncle for another month. And then I am going to be an uncle, though, so that's going to be kind of cool. Patty boy, how you doing? Good to see ya. Boy, you better stop attacking my Walrein. How dare you, sir? Wow, Pokeboy shared the video. Win, thank you for the cheer, man. Pokeboy, you couldn't stop laughing for 2 hours? That's good to hear. Oh, man. When you didn't have to do that, man. I appreciate that. That was very kind of you. Josh, I could put a smoke ball on Walrein, but that would be letting the Boltund win. And I'm not going to let the Boltund win, damn it. Saladash, you like the part where me and the boys want to go grab a beer? I don't know. That was fun. That part I really liked. This is another, we're going to do some behind the scenes Q&A of the new video I put up, because I did spend a lot of time on it, and I want to talk about it. I actually got a copyright strike on that video when I first uploaded it. I used a portion of that sequence had the Simon and Garfunkel song Sound of Silence on there, and I only used like a 10-second clip of it. But sure enough, the YouTube has terrible algorithms for everything, but their copyrighted material algorithm has got to be like the strongest algorithm ever. That 10-second clip, they like nailed that shit. They were like, you used that song, you know you used it. How dare you? And they like were like, oh my god, you can't, you know, your video's gonna be copyright claim, blah blah blah. And I said, whatever. So instead, I had to go find a random cover of that same song, which sounded nearly identical from the internet, and I found a random cover, and I used that instead, and it totally worked, and I didn't have a copyright strike anymore. So that was how that happened. That was a fun one, Debbie. When the very end where the Sound of Silence plays, the awkward look on one of the guys' faces is like the funniest thing to me, because it's like totally natural. It's like actually in the video, and just when you slow it down, it's a glimpse into the human experience, and that's my favorite part. That's the part that gets me laughing every time. So anyway, I had a lot of fun making that video. Kyle, you ran a person down today, like, intentionally? Like, you almost ran somebody over? Or, like, they stole something from you and you had to go, like, run after them? No. Dark version, thank you. I'm glad you liked it, man. Hey, I get to ignore all the NDD from now on. That is gonna make this hunt go a little faster, I think. If I could ignore all these NDD. Kyle, tell me more about this person, though. Why did you run somebody down exactly? D-Rock, I'm doing well. Well rested, I mean, from yesterday. I mean, oh, Jesus. I stayed out. Here's the other thing, is because I got that copyright strike on the video and I had to change out that part at the last minute and then re-export the entire thing. I was up until like 4:30 in the morning trying to get that video out the door in time for April Fool's Day. Because if I upload it on any other day, it doesn't make any sense. You know? Why not do crabs? Sure, why not? Hey, what's going on? Thank you for coming out, man. No. Patty boy, you like the Lunala part. That is also my favorite part. It's just so dumb. This is the point of the video, and I mentioned this the other day when I was first starting to edit together. This video is either going to be super dumb or super funny. To which Wesley replied, hey, it might be both. And I said, you know what, Wesley, you're right. It probably is going to be both. So, yeah, it was mostly dumb, but a little funny, too. Kyle, you're getting your oil changed. Your car got stuck on the ramp. You stepped on the gas bins too much. Oh, shit. You almost did it. God damn. At least nobody got hurt, man. That is super scary, dude. Debbie, that's correct. Yes, a male NDD counts towards my form dex, but not my living shiny dex. So it's not up on the previous. It's not up on, you know, my number hasn't increased at all. It's but it is nice to have. Turtle, thank you for the follow, dude. Actually, I never checked yesterday, God, I took yesterday off. I never checked if that NDD has a mark. So, does anybody want to see if we get a mark real quick? See if we got a mark on the NDD? Blade, it doesn't count because I already have a female NDD from my Glimwood Tangle hunt. So, I already have NDD registered. Yeah. Persona, I think I like male NDD more because it reminds me less of exactly like Audino. And female NDD just kind of looks like Galarian Audino. You know? Anyway. Oh, Jesus. That I did not mean to do. That was a little bit of Joy-Con drift there, guys. I hate this Joy-Con. Alright. We're good. Are you ready? We're gonna check to see if this thing has a mark. Right here. Check summary. Because we didn't do it yesterday. It's beautiful, though. It is beautiful. Look at that. No mark, though. Does not have a mark. That's very sad. Quirky nature. So there you go. It is. I like it. It's a nice looking shiny. I like the purple ears. I like the teal color on it. It's good looking. Anyway, but I get to ignore NDD from now on, so that's nice. Well, Housecaraptor, the bitch of the whole thing is that this is on my Pro controller, which at this point is like about a year and a half old, and I paid $60 for it, and the Joy-Con is drifting. So you tell me what the hell's going on there, or why it hates me so much. But, what are you gonna do? Oh, Gallardacuna, does the NDD say St. Patrick's Day? That is, well, actually, technically every Pokemon is gonna say St. Patrick's Day. I forgot about that. So one of the things is because I have to hunt Corvisquire, and because I'm trying to stream it every day, I have to be on a day when Corvisquire is available to me. So it has to be the right weather, and I've got Corvisquire on the recommended, and I intend to keep it that way. And so the day that happened to be when I was able to date skip and get Corvisquire on the recommended happened to be St. Patrick's Day, March the 17th. So every Pokemon on this hunt is going to be caught on St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, that's just the way things are going to work. Buttertators, this is a first-party controller. This is, I think it's first-party. I mean, it says Nintendo Switch on it, right? I don't know how to, I mean, it says Nintendo all over it. It's got the Nintendo logo stamped on the back, so I think that counts as first-party, man. So I don't know. I don't know why it's drifting. I don't like it. And I don't want to send it in. You know, I bought it from GameStop, but I may have saved a little money by getting a used one. But it worked like a year and a half. And by used, I mean, it looked brand new, but it you know, didn't have the packaging or whatever. But I should be able to still send it into Nintendo. Do I really need a receipt for that kind of thing? I don't know that I do. Code Red, thank you for the follow, man. Blade, how many hours do I have on this game? About 900. I actually was just looking, and I had almost... I was just about to hit 900 hours. It was 899 hours. But it's a lot of hours, actually. Javier, you were looking for a shiny Charmander in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. Charmander, I guess you can breed it if you wanted to do that. Yeah, that works. Well, good luck on that thing, man. Olivia Higgins, how you doing? I'm glad you're liking the videos, man. I appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, I've just recently started, and I've been a little lax on it recently. A VOD channel on the YouTube, because people wanted to see VODs on the YouTube instead. So I don't know if you watch them on Twitch, or you prefer them on Twitch, you prefer them on YouTube, but they're going to be on YouTube moving forward as well as Twitch. If that works better. I think you can type !VOD to get over there. But I appreciate you being there today, man. Oh, Buttators, I got some canned air hanging around. Where's my canned air at? Ooh, I see it. It's over there. Give me a sec. I'm gonna bust some canned air up in here. I got it's gonna be some canned heat, as it were. I'm gonna be right back. It's all the way across my desk, and I actually have to get up to get it. All right, 10 seconds, not even. 5 seconds. Here goes nothing. Alright, that took longer than 5 seconds. But I do have my canned air. Are you ready to hear it? I'm gonna do the canned air live on stream. Here goes nothing. Up under the Joy-Con. Here it goes. Are you ready to hear this? Ooh. Oh, it's so canned. It's so canned. So air. Can you hear that? It's gonna go right into the mic now. Oh, that was fun. Alright, I tried it. Alright, we'll see if that works. I have no idea if that's gonna work or not. Ice Beam. Let's Ice Beam this thing. Shit. That was so much can, so much air. It's like, you ever seen Spaceballs, where Mel Brooks as the Spaceballs president Scroob, he nope. He has canned air up inside his desk, and it's a brand called Perry Air, based on Perrier, the water brand. So I thought that was one of the better jokes of all time. Anyway. Is that a canned air ASMR? That's the closest you're gonna get, man. Well, Saladash, not the Joy-Con, it's an actual Pro Controller. I need the Pro Controller. And I'd rather not buy another one. I spent enough money on this damn thing, you know. Alex, no, Chip is not coming back. Chip has done his time. We had a good time with Chip, but it is time to move on with all of our lives. It was a good time, but we're in the era of Dale now. And we have actually a lot of other hats to use too. It's not just Chip and Dale. There can be several other hats in the near future here, so keep an eye out on them. If we go over odds again, which I'd really, rather not do. Well, Sally Dash, I'm sure they can repair my Pro Controller. The question is, are they going to charge me to repair my Pro Controller? Which I don't think they should, because I paid enough for the goddamn thing. So I don't know. Well, Buttered Taters, I do technically have a wired turbo controller that I can use as a Pro Controller, but it's not the same, right? It doesn't have the same feel. It's not weighted the same. It was only $20, and so I don't really care. I mean, I spent like $60 on this Pro Controller. I love the weight, I love the feel. I want it to work. That's all, man. Dark version, they won't charge me if I say it's drift. Okay. Well, if it keeps happening, I might do it then. Then I gotta pay for shipping and all this crap, Anyway. But see, that's Joy-Cons. You guys did it with Joy-Cons. It's a known issue with Joy-Cons. They got in trouble with Joy-Cons, so they had to do it. The Pro Controller is different. And I don't know how it works with the Pro Controller. If they swap it out for free, then fine. Whatever. Is it known on Pro Controllers too? Alright. Well, I'll look into it then. Yeah, suspicious they do, because they got in super trouble for selling a $300 product and putting, you know, absolute garbage quality equipment on it. And they were threatened with, I think, a class action lawsuit. And they just said, you know what, fine. They probably, somebody in their actuarial department did the math and found out that they were going to have to pay out a lot more in the lawsuit than if they just fessed up to it and said, fine, we'll just repair them all for free. And so now they're repairing Joy-Cons for free. You just gotta, I guess you just call them up. Alright, Dark Version. Thanks for the advice. I'll look into it then. It would be nice to have a Pro Controller that doesn't have Joy-Con drift. That's weird, Butter Taters. That's interesting. Well, this one does, unfortunately. But, you know, I did just use that canned air on it. And I had never used that before. So we'll see if it works. We'll see if I get additional drift here in the near future. Dark Version, I'm fine if I get another one, so long as it's the same color and make and model, then I'm fine. I like mine right now. It's black, but it's kind of I don't know what color it actually is. It's kind of gray. And I don't know if all Pro Controllers are like this, but it's like slightly transparent. And you can see through it a little bit, and I kind of like that. Anyway, I like it. I happen to like it. That's all. No. Saladash, is that link Nintendo.com? What is that link supposed to be? No. 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 There we go. Suspicious, you had to buy a Pro Controller to hunt Reggie Drago. Why did you have to? Oh, because of your Joy-Con drift? I guess that would do it, man. And Kyle, you know... It was technically $55, whatever. Yeah, the short answer is yeah, I did. and whatever. If I have to send it in, I'll send it in, man. So, Buttatator's got another shiny Graveler trying to find Lickitung. I had a really tough Lickitung hunt as well. I do not know why, but I phased several times, and it just took... I feel like it took like 2 weeks. It felt like it took forever, man. But I hope you get that thing. I don't see any Corvisquire. I have to keep using all these repels, but it's such a pain when that message pops up. I wish I could just have permanent repel on. Just charge me like 10,000 Pokebucks so that I can buy a permanent repel and I don't have to worry about it. But I'll turn it off if I want to. That's killer. That was suspicious. Yeah, fair enough. Well, I mean, it was a relatively recent thing. I mean, it's within the last year, but I guess that would... I mean, your Reggie Drago hunt would have been within the last year, so that makes sense. Pokefan person, how you doing? It's a good name change. We could just shorten it even more. It could just be Pokefan. Although I think probably that screen name's already taken. But otherwise, it's good to see you. How you doing? I could use the turbo controller to get to the repel message, but then I wouldn't be able to do anything else. Oh, goodness. Omega Salt, thank you for the follow. Pokefan, I'm good. I'm good. I'm better, actually. Yesterday, I was feeling super burned out. And I just... After work yesterday... I just kind of laid down in bed. I didn't even really take a nap or anything. I just kind of laid there and enjoyed being, you know, in a prone position. Kind of. It was very comfy. I have a very comfy bed. right? So the I really like being in it. If that makes sense. I've got this beautiful. And one of the things that you learn when you're an adult is that there are a couple of things that you should spend a lot of money on. Right? A couple of things that are important to have really high quality. Your bed and your bedding is one of them. Do not skimp. You get that Tempur-Pedic, memory foam, whatever mattress. Okay? I spent like $50 each on a couple of really nice pillows. And I can't look back, man. I'm so comfortable every night. Nate, I'm glad you liked the video, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I spent a lot of time on that one. And Mighty Fleck, what am I hunting in? I'm hunting in Pokemon Sword version. And I gotta save because there's 2 Corvisquire, and they're in very different parts of the map here. And I think that's gonna get me where I need to be. Cool. Let's hope that I don't despawn anything. Galacticity spend roughly a third of your time in bed, which is true. Yeah. I had a really terrible bed for a long time. I was, for a long time, I was relatively pretty poor. And didn't have a whole lot of money to spend on mattresses or bedding or anything like that. So I had a shit bed, and it was hard to sleep in. But, when I got a little money, that was the first thing I invested in. And I have never looked back. It's been years of comfort at this point. It's so nice, man. No, I actually despawned something. That son of a bitch. I'm resetting. I'm gonna encounter the other things. Son of a gun. There's the entire reason I didn't want to do that. So lame. Pumakuma, that is true. But a lot of times you can get some pretty good deals on it. And you can really, like, barter them down. Like, don't ever pay full price for a mattress. Heavier, what happened is I accidentally despawned some stuff that I didn't want to be despawning. And so I've got to encounter them again, because if one of them was shiny, I mean, I can't let that happen again. I can't despawn any more of these things. So the Corvisquire to my up and to my left over here, up and to the left, is the one that did despawn last time. Unlawful Spoon, thank you for the follow, man. Galacticuna, the average person spends 26 years in bed and 7 years trying to sleep. Holy shit. That is an incredible amount of trying to get to sleep. But I don't get to sleep easily, so that makes sense. A Mega Salt, that is a lot of Grookis. You're definitely over odds, so I hope you get that Grookey soon. I have got like 450 Grookis on this game. Specifically to try and hatch a shiny one. We'll see if it happens. Come on, struggle, kill. You didn't kill? Struggle. Come on, man. This Walrein is kind of a pain. All good. Nate got your Wooloo at 455 KOs. Not bad. Very nice. Hopefully Murder Method treats us well as well. Treats us well as well. There's too many wells. Anyway, I hope it does good for us. Oh, no. Get you over here. Pokeboy looking for a Dialga. I hope you get that shiny, man. Very nice. And Pokefan, no worries. I'm gonna have a niece or nephew very soon. And we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna be an uncle in about a month, and I'm very excited. I think that I would be a good uncle. I've always thought this in my life. I think I'd be a terrible father, but I'd be a great uncle. So we'll see what happens. Although I don't have a lot of experience dealing with 2-year-olds. So I might be a terrible uncle too, but at least I won't have, you know, full responsibility for this child, which is really the important part. Are they the best? That's good to know. I think I was talking about this with my buddy because he's an uncle too, and he doesn't think he could be a good father either. And he says it's fun because you get all the love and the affection, and getting to hang out with the kid with absolutely none of the responsibility. And I can't wait for it. I think it's gonna be great. Oh, Gallardicuno, yes. I am gonna do that one shitty magic trick. I actually don't know what shitty magic trick you're talking about. But I was gonna do the coin behind the ear trick. Because that's super easy to do, and it gets the kids every time. And I think I'm definitely gonna do that. 100%. Oh, man. Persona, no, I will not do that. Oh, man. And Patty Boy, you're an uncle. You love teaching your nieces and nephews swears. Oh, I bet your brother or sister hates that. What? I got confused. God, why do I have to use such shit Pokemon? For real. Glandizzle, thank you, thank you. Well, not yet. I still have a month until this child is meant to be born. But at that point, definitely will. It's gonna be fun, man. It will. Olivia, so Galarian and Alolan forms count as part of the living shiny decks as opposed to the form decks. But yes, they do count. I feel very strongly that Galarian forms and Alolan forms are basically all new Pokemon a little bit, so... Patty Boy, you taught your brothers your nephew your brother's nickname, and he flipped. I want to know what your brother's nickname is. I think it would be weird. I don't know. I have a coworker who's, and this is really weird. I have a coworker whose child calls her by her first name. Like, refers to my coworker by my coworker's first name. It sounds oddly formal coming from a child. Instead of mom or dad or anything, they refer to each other by their first name. I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, seems oddly formal. Suspicious, you taught your nephew the art of sarcasm. Beautiful. That's what uncles are for. That is it. I am gonna have to toe a line between being a fun and perhaps rambunctious troublemaking uncle and trying not to piss off my sister-in-law. That's gonna be a fine line to run. Oh man. Ooh, Glandizzle, you have drinks? I'm there, man. What a club. Awesome. Persona, but I know better now, is the thing. I know better. And Pokefan, you knew this girl in elementary school used to do it to her mom, but it was out of disrespect. Which I could see as being disrespectful. I think this is just a normal part of their lives, is the thing. And I just find it weird. I don't know, man. Kyle, no, she's not a stepchild. It's a biological daughter. I watch my coworker like be pregnant and have this child, and which is weird to think. But I've been working at the same place long enough that I've seen my coworker has gotten pregnant, had the child. The child has grown enough to now learn to talk and go to school like she's in elementary school now. I don't know. Maybe I've been working at the same place for too long. Maybe that... I don't know. It's been a while, though. Gallardicuno, your father was a den leader for your brother's Cub Scout pack. Yeah, the kids call him by his first name. Oh, man. That is a little weird. Interesting. I don't know. I guess it would make your brother seem... It would be more inclusive... not inclusive, this is a weird way to put it, but like it would make your brother fit in, I guess, with the other kids more. I don't know, because I've been in those Cub Scout packs where, you know, the den father was one of the kids' fathers. I think the kid just called him Dad, to be fair. But anyway, but I get that dynamic. I do. Oh yeah, at that point you might as well just call him Dad. Oh man. Well, suspicious. I think there's a very big difference between a brother-in-law and a sister-in-law, right? Because with your sister already knows you. She knows your, your antics, right? She's used to it, so you're not gonna piss off your sister. And the brother-in-law might be a pretty chill guy. A sister-in-law, however, this is a sister-in-law who, by the way, is already a little wound, uptight, a little bit. And she's obviously a nice person, but she doesn't take jokes the best in the world, is all. And so obviously I love her and I love my brother, and so want to make sure they're happy. I don't know. I'm just not gonna try to piss her off too much. That's all. I don't think I can go around pushing there, is what I'm saying. Kyle, that is possible. They could be a little bit hippie in a way. And that might be a particular, child rearing technique that they're using. I don't know. Oh, dark version, good, okay. Well, we'll see what happens. Those damn hippies. Always trying weird things like treating their children like people. How dare they? I don't know. I think it's a little weird, but, that's their family. There's nothing I can do about it, man. No. Don't do it. Don't do it. Bolton, you're the worst. Oh, man. I spent way too long yesterday. One of the things I did yesterday in lieu of not streaming was I finally set up. And this is, so dumb, but I'm extremely happy with it. I finally set up my new Bluetooth dongle on my computer, and now I have a new Bluetooth mouse that I can use, and I have a lot of freedom now with my mouse, and it's it shouldn't be a big deal, but it makes me inordinately happy. I really quite like it. It's one of those things that cost me maybe total $30 to buy the Bluetooth dongle and the mouse, and it is, over the last days, brought me a great deal of joy already. It was a huge pain in the ass to set up, but now that it's done, I'm having a good day now. Patty boy, I don't know if that's something to call Child Protective Services about. That seems a little much. Oh, goodness. Mudahar, what's going on, man? It's good to see you. And suspicious, your mother-in-law's child is 5 years old and from the depths of hell. Hasn't been reprimanded for anything. Well, I don't know. I think my brother is going to be able to lay down the law. I definitely know parents. I have a cousin who was not reprimanded as a child and was a real piece of work. Was kind of a little shit for most of his entire life. He's kind of calmed down a little bit now that he's an adult. But, was kind of a little piece of shit his entire life. Until then. So it's important to have boundaries and discipline and whatever, but also, it goes the other way too. That's all. Vegeta, how you doing, man? Good to see ya. And Nate, exactly. So many things in my life had been going, like I try something and it just goes wrong. And I mean, this Bluetooth thing was an example of that. It should have never been this difficult. And some things while I was editing my video together was it should have never been this difficult. One little thing should have never been this difficult. It's not even a thing that should even happen. There's a glitch in the software for some reason that shouldn't be happening. It's why is everything just that difficult? But now that I got it done, it's really quite nice and I can just relax. So that's a good thing. Galhardicuno, that is a very relatively narrow range, I suppose. I would lean more Squavit, I guess. Definitely Squavit. But, Morpeko is just hell on earth. So, that's different. Patty boy, you had that problem? I don't know if I really had that problem. We always all had our own rooms. I mean, there were 4 of us growing up. I had my own room because I was the oldest. My sister had her own room because she was a girl. But the 2 middle boys, my 2 brothers, had to share a room almost their entire childhoods. Till I moved out of the house. And so we all kind of grew up sharing things and not worrying too much about whose shit was whose exactly. You know? Krabs, what are the shiny odds? What are the shiny odds? Worst case scenario, 1 in 1,365, of which I am over odds there. And it could be even better odds than that, about 1 in 1,300, like Kyle mentioned. And so, the long story short is we don't really know. And the best we can do is assume shiny charm odds. So I'm still over odds, no matter what. God, right on, you are so slow. Or maybe it's that Boltund is so fast. I don't know. I still can't get away. This thing's trying to wild charge me. Go away, come on. There we go. Well, Kyle, again, I don't think we can exactly trust the data miners in this case, as they have already made several mistakes that they've had to correct, and never really revisited those shiny odds. After already making mistakes several times, like they changed the number several times, so it could be the case, but I think there could be a lot more to it than that. How is this Speaking of things in my life that should absolutely not be this difficult, how is Rhydon gonna get killed by a bunch of Corvisquire exactly? Anyway. Josh, I shall go look in pics. What is in pics, my friend? Something useful? Something good? Something I need to look at? Somehow I doubt it. I'll go look anyway. What is in pics that is so very important that I must see it right now at this very second? You better not die. Alright, I outspeed somehow. Is it this regional Dunsparce thing? That kind of looks like a Dark-type Dunsparce or something? That's kind of weird, man. I think there's probably better designs for a regional Dunsparce out there. I think a regional Dunsparce should probably be at least part Fairy-type. Because that seems like it would make the most sense. I like this idea of Dunsparce, like, flying through the air on its little teeny tiny wings. I like you should never be able to support it. I like that idea a lot. The Dunsparce looks like a demon. I once designed a regional form of Chansey that was a demon. It was a Dark-type Chansey. And it had these little... Oh god, what do we call this? Stupid Pokemon. It had a terrible name. I hated the name. But it had a little devil tail, and it had its little head tail, the little head feathers that hang off its head, kind of came up together and formed devil horns, a little bit, and then instead of an egg in its pouch, it had a broken rotten egg, and it was a dark type Chansey, and I swear to God I can't remember what we called that damn thing, but it had a terrible name. Anyway. No, it was something like Devilly or something like the name didn't really make sense. But it was something like Devilly or something like that. I don't know. Krabs, you once randomly got a full odd shiny Corvisquire. Some people have all the luck. No, that is pretty cool, man. I am insanely jealous. Krabs, you would love a Quetzalcoatl Dunsparce evolution. That'd be nice. Like the feathered serpent of Aztec lore. I think that's a very natural thing. I totally agree. Fairy dragon type or something like that. Kyle, you want a fairy-type Dunsparce, the only difference being a tiny crown on its head and a wand. And it doesn't even have hands for? Oh, and for some reason, a giant mustache. Like a giant kingly mustache. Yes, I'm all down there. Crabs, yeah, so what? Fairy Dragon's gonna be OP, sure. I mean, at the same time, you know how many there's a lot of poison types, steel types in the metagame right now. It's not like it's gonna be insanely OP, right? You just gotta temper the stats. Maybe don't give it Serene Grace again. How about that? That's all you need. I don't know why I keep being outsped by some of these Corvisquire. Weird. That's it, Krabs. Exactly. Give it mediocre stats. Or at least stats that are, you know, not the best in the world. They can be okay stats, and not every Pokemon has to just have the most amazing stats ever, you know. Suspicious, your first ever Full Odds Pokemon was back-to-back Onix. Wow, and Pokemon Y. Wow, that's pretty cool. Now one of them can be a Steelix, which is great. In Persona, that's true. Mega Altaria is already Dragon Fairy, but it's a Mega Evolution, and therefore it doesn't count, because Mega Evolutions are kind of stupid. And yet a lot of people agreed with me back in Gen 6 times. And now people are looking back like, oh my god, Mega Evolution was the best ever. Please bring it back. Everybody agreed with me back in Gen 6. There's some Megas that I like, but the gross majority of them are, and I use gross purposefully, are poorly designed and pointless. I don't know. I honestly like Gigantamax more than I like Mega Evolution. I really do. I think Gigantamax Pokemon are better evolved for what Mega Evolution was supposed to be. Exactly, Gulhartakuna. Just give it spikes. How many Mega Evolutions are just give it spikes? Pinsir. Alright. Aerodactyl. Gyarados a little bit. Houndoom a little bit. I mean, come on here, man. And they're totally unnatural. Gigantamax is pretty stupid, but it's it doesn't try too hard to like justify itself. Sharpedo, another one there, man. Perfect example. And there's a turn timer, also great. It's just it makes a hell of a lot of sense. And Neftalene, that's a thing, is that Game Freak has for so long been concerned about competitive play and making competitive play better and having competitive gimmicks to try to draw in all the competitive players over the years, you know. And is it necessary? Is it? I don't know that it is. Everybody liked Pokemon back when it was doing the same thing generation after generation. Everybody liked it just fine. They didn't have to have all these weird random battle gimmicks, you know. I don't know. I think that the battle gimmicks are taking away from some of the other aspects of Pokemon that people like a lot more. I don't know who all are competitive battlers out there. I know there's some very prominent ones. I know there are people who like it. Maybe I'm speaking out against it because I just happen to not like it. Maybe I'm mistaken on the number of people who actually legitimately enjoy competitive battling. So especially as I will say that Mega Kangaskhan was one of the few good Megas. And there are a couple of good Megas that I actually like. Sceptile, for example, is really good. I like Charizard X, personally. But, a lot of them were a little... Like Venusaur. Look at Venusaur. Look at Mega Venusaur versus Gigantamax Venusaur. And tell me which one is better designed. I think Gigantamax Venusaur has a much better design principle behind it, in my opinion. And it's pretty simple, too. Oh, Kyle, that's a good point. I would definitely really like it if I could use any Pokemon ever that I just wanted to use. I killed myself. Fantastic. Wonderful. Suspicious, I also kind of like Mega Ampharos a lot. Yeah, that's another good one. I would love to be able to use Dunsparce. I want Dunsparce to be like get randomly buffed and be like the best competitive Pokemon ever. All these people not liking Dunsparce, man. Persona, that's true, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing that people can share teams now, using, like, barcodes or whatever, or QR codes. I think that's fine. But certainly there is kind of this culture of using PK Hex in competitive battling, and there it kind of leads to these, you know, 10 Pokemon that are just used all the time. And there needs to be a lot more variety, for sure. Marco Martinez, which generation do I like the most? I like Generation 2 the most. Heart Gold, Soul Silver are my favorite games. I think they've got the best aesthetic in those games. I think it's got the best music. I like the Pokemon designs the best. It maybe has a lot of nostalgia for me. I'm freely going to admit that. But overall, yeah, Generation 2 for sure. No. Well, Persona, that's honestly among the best ways to get quote-unquote good in competitive battling, is to make a team of Pokemon that people don't necessarily expect, but that, like, directly contradicts or has a lot of good answers for the Pokemon that are popular at the moment. Because people won't know how to fight against those particular teams. Because everybody else is just using all these QR code teams that they find, which is fine. That doesn't mean that it's bad or they shouldn't use them. I mean, the point of competitive battling is that it's all about the strategy, I think, and not about necessarily the Pokemon themselves, if that makes sense. Suspicious, you're finally buying Heart Gold, Soul Silver just to play Gen 4. Well, they're definitely good to full odds hunt on now, although, I mean, I guess nowadays, unless you, like, particularly enjoy full odds hunting, all the hunts in those games that you know, you kind of needed those games to hunt for particular Pokemon, mostly Moltres, Zapdos, Articuno, as well as Groudon, Kyogre, Rayquaza, you don't really need those games to hunt those Pokemon anymore. For several generations, that was the only game where you could get those Pokemon shiny. So, but nowadays there's a lot easier ways to hunt them all. Yeah, I don't know. But they're great games, so yeah. Have fun with them, man. Nate, what is my least favorite gen? People hate me every time I say it, but it is true. The gen with, I think, that is the worst, with the worst Pokemon designs, not the greatest music in the world, and overall my least favorite. People hate me when I say this, but it's Black and White. The original Black and White. I just think those games felt a little, they were extremely underwhelming. That said, Black 2, White 2, I actually really like. And people don't hear that part. A lot of people just hear, oh, you hate Black and White? Oh, but it has the best story of any Pokemon game. Not really. It's kind of got a shitty story. Pokemon games aren't really known for their stories. And don't tend to have good ones. Maybe you could make the argument that Gen 5 is slightly better than an average Pokemon game, but that doesn't make a good story in and of itself. I'm with you, E-Rock. I really like Gen 7's story because it actually had like a character arc to it. Yeah, like actual character development, which you never saw in a Pokemon game before and really haven't seen too much since then. And that was by far the best story in any Pokemon game. But then people are like, but blah, 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 but cutscenes, blah, blah, blah. And actually, it's really only the beginning of the game that does have bad cutscenes, but after that, it's not so bad. Reactive Raichu, you also don't like black and white, okay. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Gen 1 and 2, because Gen 1 and 2 are different because Pokemon didn't need a story back then. Right? By the time Gen 5 rolled around, and they'd been doing the same thing generation after generation, which Gen 1 did very well, and did it first. Right? It was really more about the exploring. And you know, visiting new places, catching new Pokemon, finding new Pokemon as you roam the world. And then Pokemon did that for several generations in a row. Didn't change the formula too much. But all of a sudden needed, something, I guess they decided they needed something different to keep people engaged. And that's what we got. We got this gimmick of no previous Pokemon, no returning Pokemon in Gen 5. But what it really felt more like was kind of a soft reboot where they took all of Gen 1's Pokemon and just, gave them newer and worse, in my opinion, designs. But that's it's an unpopular opinion, and it is only an opinion, is the other thing. You can feel free to disagree with me. It doesn't frickin' matter at all. Anyway. Shiny Fast, you like Brendan and May's development in Alpha and Omega. Or Wally's, too. Wally, gained some confidence, gained some courage, became a competent battler. So that wasn't bad. But the Lily's character development was like actual character development. You actually got to know her, how she was kind of overshadowed by her mother. Her mother was controlling her life, and she learned to become her own individual person, blah, blah, blah. It was actually pretty great and stood up to her mother in the end. So, it was all good, man. Shiny Fest, you think Gen 5 was jarring because the other generations had been based on Japan? I don't necessarily think that's why it was, but sure. We'll call it that. Shiny Fest, you like Sonia. Sonia did what? I mean, I think Sonia's character development is more that she just got more of a job. Like, she was a lab assistant, and then she graduated to becoming a professor. I don't think getting a new job is necessarily character development. Whereas I think, actually, Hop has surprisingly good character development in these games. Hop starts out as a character who really admires his big brother, wants to be just like his big brother, and wants to be like this best battler in the world, right? And eventually, over the course of the story, finds that, you don't always have to be the best, right? It's okay to do something that you love. You don't have to let other people's actions and successes define who you are. You can be your own person. He finds that out over the course of the story and decides that becoming a Pokemon researcher is more his thing, and he doesn't have to be, the best battler in the world. That is a fantastic story right there. A little character arc. That was quite nice. Kind of, again, coming out from under the shadow of somebody, in this case being his big brother. So, Galacticuna, you like it that Hop's whole team changes completely different times? Probably because he's like trying out different things, trying to decide what kind of trainer he wants to be. Exactly. Gonna be honest, I don't remember Bianca's arc, except that I guess she was very shy at first, and then she became like a Pokemon professor kind of person. That's all I remember. I don't know if there's too much. I don't think there's that much there. Again, might be just a jump title change, but that's, I don't know. I didn't play the original Black and White except for one time. So maybe it was all in the original Black and White, and I don't remember it as well as I thought I did. Alright, Suspicious, we'll see you, man. Appreciate you coming out today. Let's see. Bianca's arc was that her dad came to talk to her once to bring her home, and she said no. It's really fantastic character motivation. When Bianca said no to her father, that is when I knew that we had something special. I think other characters get a lot more interesting character arcs then. But I don't know. I think that's a benefit of the newer generations, personally. Might be a thing moving forward. We'll find out. I actually really what you know, we may be actually going the opposite direction with this Pokemon Legends Arceus game or whatever. In that, it could be more of a return to exploration. And in this case, exploring the newly colonized Sinnoh region. I think that's a lot more exciting to me. I'm looking forward to that. I really think Bianca and Hop have super similar arcs, but Hop has an inferiority complex, which is fine. I mean, I think that's good. I think that's a thing that a lot of, younger siblings deal with. So maybe it's good to have that represented. I think a lot of younger siblings deal with being in the shadow of their older siblings, especially if those older siblings are very successful. I, on the other hand, really made it easy on my brothers and sisters by kind of being a fuck-up my whole life and made their job very easy. They didn't have to look up to me at all. So I deserve absolute praise for the way I've lived my life, I think. Really a selfless act. Really only thinking about how my siblings deserve better. That is, I'm a selfless person at heart, you see. Nate, it's okay. You don't have to be the best at everything. I've learned that as well. No, I was just not a very good student in school. And kind of drifted through life a little bit in my early 20s. And that's okay. I think I got out of that funk. I'm in a job that I like, maybe even the start of a career. And I learned some important things, man. That's all. You're allowed to do that. You're allowed to try and fail at things, That's another thing you learn in life. You're allowed to try and fail. It took me a really long time to learn that, Troll, the Corvisquire is not being nice. You know all about Pokemon not being nice. I can't complain too much. But yes, the Corvisquire is not being the most kind, especially after we've had some really, really nice quick hunts. Oh, Nephilim. Well, that's not good. But it happens occasionally. I hope you bounce back, man. Yeah, it happens. I hope it's not too bad, man. I'm sorry to hear it, though. I hope you can get out of it. There's probably a way to get out of it. Nate, your older brother and sister did you dirty. Those motherfuckers went crazy with schoolwork, and you were a dumbass. That is the other side of it. No, I was not great with schoolwork, man. I did not do my homework. That's just it. I just did not want to come home and do homework when I was in school. And that I did fine on tests and things. I just didn't feel like school needed to be my entire life when I was a kid. And I feel like the same way nowadays. Nowadays we call it a work-life balance. And I don't want to do work when I'm not during work hours, and that's okay. You don't have to give your entire life to a shit job. You don't have to give your entire life to school. It's okay to have interests and pursuits, and want to, have time to do all of them. It's a work-life balance. Or a school-life balance. I think more people need their school-life balance worked out. Troll, you ended your last phase at 4476 and still no Scorpy. Holy shit. So how many total Scorpy has it been? Are you counting the Scorpy separate from every other encounter? Or not? Exactly, Gallardicuno. That's how I feel about it. But I don't know. It's what's expected of you nowadays. And I think that's kind of stupid. Anyway. I like spending my times on things that I like. Shiny faster Americans spend more time in school during the day than almost any other country, and yet we don't have necessarily the gains to show for it somehow. What I think is interesting, right? Troll, you wish you had been getting the Scorpy, but about somewhere around 2,300. There's a lot of Scorpy. And, is there not... Are you set on doing the Scorpy on that route? Because there are Scorpy in the wild area. I don't know if they're in the overworld. There's a Scorpy in the wild area, but maybe they're more rare than they are on that route. But it is a good route to get a Sunburned Scorpy on. If you're going to get a Scorpy on anything, then you might as well get one where it's naturally going to get sunburned a little bit. Nate, you're a good student in elementary and middle school, and now you're going to all advanced classes and you're hating it. This is part of what I had. This is part of my problem, is that when I was a kid, I was, you could call it a gifted student. I don't necessarily think that it's the right term for this sort of thing, but you know, as far as students go, I would have been considered on the smart side or whatever, right? And so I grew up kind of thinking that I was smart, and I kept going into, you know, advanced classes, and it was expected that I go into honors classes. It was expected that I take AP classes, and it was expected of me that I go to college. That's kind of how I live my life. Not everybody has that opportunity in life, I realize now, but I didn't realize that when I was a kid. And so I was kind of coasting through, and I'm like, yeah, I got this. You know, I pay attention in class. I do good on the test. I ace like every standardized test I ever took. Whatever. Then I get to college, right? And it turns out that everybody there has had a similar experience. And now I'm not rising above based on natural talent. Everybody's here. That's the level of work that's expected of you. You've got to actually study, that sort of thing. And I didn't learn those skills back when I was in elementary, middle, and high school, and now it's coming to bite me in the ass. And so I had a really tough time the first couple of semesters of college. So it was a learning experience, and now I know that. E-Rock, you want to major in conservation biodiversity, which is very similar to what I majored in as well, and it was a very fun major. I would say that I would two regrets, two lessons that you can learn from my life is that one, I wish I had been able to find a way to go into grad school right away, as opposed to not doing so. And there was a whole, I graduated during the height of the recession in the 2000s, and that just wasn't an option for me. So, try to go into grad school right away, if you can, all right? And B, when you're in grad school, then go into, you know, get a degree in something like wildlife management or forestry, or something that you can work for the state government or a consultant or something like that. Something slightly more practical than than theoretical, you know, biodiversity and conservation. Anyway, that you get to learn from all the things that I wish I had done. But I think you're going to be very successful at it, man. I think that's awesome. Those are two subjects that I very, very much enjoy. No. Jesus. Anyway. Kyle, you started taking college classes in high school. Yeah, I definitely knew kids who did that for sure, man. And Shiny Fest, the vast majority of kids have a tough time in the first bit of university and college, because schools don't prepare people for the university setting. I'll tell you what my problem was, is freedom. I was not ready for the freedom that I had, right? And as somebody who, you know, I just told you didn't particularly like doing homework when I got home from school. Now all of a sudden, if I'm in college, and if you like don't go to class, the professor's like, whatever, and gonna go teach the class anyway, and it's not a big deal. and you have no consequences for it, except that, you know, all of a sudden, now you don't have a chance to study or pay attention, and you don't do great at the tests. That freedom was very tough to deal with. And finding a way to actually get myself in, because when you're a kid, everything's, like, done for you, right? For the most part. You wake up, you know, there's a school bus to take you to school, you're in school, you know, your classes come one after another, you go home. It's a relatively rigid system. You know, in college, you got to do everything for yourself. And that's very different. I don't know. Josh, is Carbink a good hunt for Autism Awareness Day? Sure. Why not? I'm trying to think of a Pokemon like, yeah, no, I think that's probably a good one, for sure. I don't know why. I agree with you. You said it, so I agree. Flying Dove, you're 15, but you want to go into a career involving biology. I think you should, wait and see. But you should definitely take some, when you go to college, this is a problem, I think, a problem with, college nowadays versus how college was when my parents were going to school, right? And it was kind of something that I didn't realize was going to be a thing when I was going to college. Nowadays, there's this weird expectation that you kind of already know what your major is going to be before you even get to college. And you've already made that choice. And you're going to a college to pursue that choice. That's going to be your track for the rest of your life. Right? And I don't think that's a good thing. I think that puts a lot of pressure on people, especially children. I mean, actual children who have to make this decision when they're like 17. They're not even adults yet. And they've got to make this decision that's going to affect the rest of their life. It used to be that you'd go to college, and the expectations was that you had a couple of... Oh, shit. I hit my mic. Anyway, the expectation was that you had a couple of semesters. You got to figure out what the hell you're going to do, you know, and take a couple of classes in this major, that major, whatever. And apparently that's not what you're supposed to do. That's how I went to college. I went to college that I was going to try out a couple of things. I ended up in biology, which I kind of could have figured out ahead of time, but I wanted to try some things out. I didn't declare until I was, you know, a junior in college, and I wish I had declared sooner. So, and the expectation was probably that you declare sooner. I don't know, man. Mr. Marcus, you wish more people knew about the maritime industry. Good money, you get to see the world. You can go to a maritime academy and come out as an officer. Well, there you go. My problem is that I hate doing manual labor. Like, I can do it, but I hate it. And I think there would be a lot of that in the maritime industry. Also, I have a constant fear of drowning, which living on the ocean doesn't really help with that, you know? Shiny Fast, that's the way it is in Canada. And see, I don't think it should be that way. You should be freely allowed to switch if you want, you know? E-Rock is saying when you're Browning in biology, legit everybody expects you to be a doctor. Huh. But you like biodiversity, and I think what you can do is go into, you know, field work or other research like that, and that's why I think going to grad school is going to be important. Go into grad school and do what you want. You know, if you want to be in biodiversity, go into wildlife management. People need wildlife managers out there. You know, the state, every state, the federal government, the Department of Interior needs wildlife managers, and forestry people and things like that. And so that's a very practical way to be involved with biology and biodiversity. You know, while still enjoying the things that you love. Mr. Marcus, true, but I would still have to pass a physical, and I don't know if I could do that. I'm too lazy. But that is fair. My father was an officer in the Navy. But he did his, like, I don't know, 5 years, and then he got the hell out of there. So I don't think he liked it that much. But he definitely, relatively enjoyed it for his time. But that was a big thing for him. He was, he went into the Navy when he was a kid. And I say when he was a kid, he had just graduated from college, was working some, shit office jobs in New York City, and decided that he couldn't do that shit anymore. So he walked down and joined the Navy, went into officer candidate school, and he was, all of a sudden, he was in the Navy. That was it, man. Cal, you want to get a degree in civil justice? That would work. Yeah, for sure, man. People need lawyers out there. And Shiny Fast, with the German system, you are pigeonholed around 12 to 13, and it's taboo to change careers. That would suck. Because I'll tell you what I wanted to do when I was 12 to 13 is, clone dinosaurs and live in the Star Wars universe and be a Pokemon trainer for a living. Maybe the Germans are different. Maybe y'all have that kind of youthful enthusiasm, hammered at you during your schooling. But I think, teenagers in the United States, we're still dreamers in our minds. We can do whatever we want. We could be president if you want to, Kyle, it's not bad, but, that's 2 full weeks. She probably works 14 days in a row, as opposed to getting weekends, and that's kind of where that comes from. But it is a thing. Yeah. Flying Dove, you are interested in CRISPR, which is definitely amazing technology. I'll tell you, man, I have a friend who is a biomechanical engineer, right? Which, means he's kind of a fancy chemist. A little bit. Organic chemist kind of thing. Anyway, but he's talking about how he's making proteins and new compounds and things like this, which I can't even fathom doing. But there are people who are good at that kind of thing, and it comes naturally to them. That's incredible. No. Alright, Mr. Marcus. Well, fair enough. And maybe I'll go be an officer then. Oh, Lord. That would be great. Oh, yeah, Flying Dove. I've heard of CRISPR for sure. No, it's definitely amazing stuff. I just, I think it's an inevitable result of scientific discovery and unfortunately, there are a lot of ethical concerns, and you've got to weigh, the continued health of humanity with eugenics, right? And so I think it's going to come down to CRISPR can be used for things that are medically necessary, and there are going to be some things that are off limits to change with CRISPR. But I mean, it's an amazing new technology, and I think we've got to go down that rabbit hole for sure. Iraq, yes, I did respond to your message with a impassioned speech, but now I forget what I said. Your message was about everybody. Oh, everybody expects you to be a doctor, right? I just said, do what you want, basically. And if you really love biodiversity, be a field researcher, and you might not make a whole lot of money, but eventually you can get a job in like a federal or state government, which has pretty good pay and great benefits. So that was my only advice: is go into grad school. Really echoing what I said earlier, go into grad school for something practical, like wildlife management or forestry, or something that people need all the time. Well, Kyle, exactly. That's the issue. That's the ethical dilemma, and it is real, and that's why there are gonna have to be things that are illegal to change. right? Like, you can change a genetic defect that will lead to lower quality of life, but you shouldn't be able to change, for example, eye color, skin color, or hair color, or something like that. I don't know. That's my opinion. I think there's going to have to be very harsh laws about what you can and cannot do with this sort of newfound technology. And I don't think it's quite there to be able to change those things quite yet. But it's as always with these emerging technologies, you've got to take an ethical look at them. And there are people who make their entire careers about, taking the ethics of science. Anyway, Kaz Crazy Houston, what is going on, man? Marco Martinez, you're supposed to graduate as an architect, then everything has gone to shit. What is true, man? Everything went to total shit this year. I hope you're able to graduate soon, though, because people need architects. That is something that's always going to be needed. My buddy recently has gone into work as a roofer. He goes around, he inspects people's roofs, and gets his crews to install new roofs on people's houses. And guess what? People are always going to need roofs over their heads. That's an industry that ain't going away. Yeah. Well, Kyle, I know. I mean, that is why there's ethical things. I used to have... I mean, eye color is a very interesting thing because it's directly a result of how much melanin is present in your eyes, and that actually changes as you grow older. So a lot of babies are actually born with blue eyes that would become brown over their lives, which is what happened to me. I used to have blue eyes when I was a little kid, but changed to brown as I got older, and I mean pretty quickly too. I mean when I'm talking about when I was like 1 and 2 years old, I had blue eyes. But yeah, no, it's completely cosmetic, absolutely. How many eyes does Reggie Gigas have? Does every one of those little spots... I think the spots on the yellow part count as eyes. So like 1, 2, 3, 4... I don't know, like 6? I don't know. I didn't really count that well. You want an eye reveal. Soon, man. Very soon. And Flying Dove, I totally agree with you, but it is definitely hard to hear about stuff like CRISPR, right? And not immediately think about the possibility that it could be used for eugenics, right? And that's why I think we've, as the scientific community needs to take a really hard look at this and make the ethical choices early before we get too far down the rabbit hole. Galata Kuno, people are wrong on that thought. The red, silver, and blue buttons clearly are meant to represent Regirock, Registeel, and Regice. That's like so obvious, man. Anyway. But the ones, yeah, the bits on the yellow part are its eyes. Those are the ones that, like, light up and whatever. Those are the ones that really count. Because those are also the same... Those are analogous to the eyes that the other Reggies have, too. So that's why. Here we go. Well, E-Rock, it's definitely true. I mean, the blue eyes definitely tends to be, like a European thing. Like, people of European descent. And, people from other parts of the world are born with more melanin in their eyes as soon as they're born. And therefore, their eyes often, start dark and keep being dark. So, but my grandparents' side of the family is German. So I was born blonde hair and blue eyes. And I guess I get that from the German side of thing. And that quickly turned. The hair darkened, and the eyes darkened, and now I have pretty dark brown hair and dark brown eyes. And it's been that way for like since I was like 5 years old at least. I've always had really dark hair. But it has gotten darker as I've grown older. Well, although now it's actually different. Maybe it's starting to get a little lighter. I keep finding gray hairs every now and again. I'm only in my 30s, damn it. Do we only get 30 years before we start going gray? Is that it? Oh, this life. No, I think I'll look good in gray. Well, I'll go with that salt and pepper look for a while. It's gonna be great. What do they call that? The silver fox, or whatever. I'll be a silver fox, and it'll be great. It'll be fine. Alonzo, hey, what's going on, man? Yeah, it's good to see you. I appreciate you stopping by. I hope you've been doing well, man. There you go, Gallardacuna. I can be like a Thievel, and Thievel's a fantastic shiny. Reactive Raichu, don't worry. I thought I was losing my hair for a while too. Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe you're losing yours more. I thought I was losing my hair for a while. Turns out that naturally, men just have a. Men naturally have a somewhat receding hairline, right? Obviously, there's a difference between that and actual male pattern baldness. But you're gonna lose a little hair. It's just gonna happen. As you grow, as men grow older, and it's different from it. That's a natural thing, and that's different from, going all bald. I don't know, but if you're going that direction, you might as well lean into it. Because I think I don't know. I know a lot of people that have had that happen to them, and the ones that lean into it end up looking a lot better than the ones that don't. That's all. Kyle, you had gray hair in high school. Well, I was not ready for it when I turned 30 and found a gray hair. I've got a lot of hair still, man. I haven't gotten my hair cut for like a couple of years now. Last time I got my haircut was at my brother's wedding. He's been married for like 2 years. No, it hasn't been that long. Coronavirus was 1 whole year. So it was October of 2019. So it was October, November, December. So 3 months there. March, 1.5 years. I haven't gotten my haircut in 1.5 years due to COVID stuff. Gallardacuna, I am personally not, no. I understand people who are, though. I mean, that could be a very tough thing, for a guy. What are the toughest things that they can have happen to them? So, I'm not demeaning that at all, but I do think it's a lot more empowering to lean into it, personally. Alonzo, thank you, man. You are, working 3 jobs, which I was working 3 jobs for a little while, and I tell you what, I made a lot of money, but I hated my life a little bit. So I'm saying is, we're talking about this earlier in today's stream. Work-life balance is, don't kill yourself working, man. There's a lot more important things in life than working. But I totally get it. I was there for a while. I once worked, oh geez. I worked 28 full days in a row. Without a day off. No breaks, no weekend, no nothing. 28 days in a row. And I almost killed myself. It was the worst. So, yeah, just don't be like me. I learned my lesson there. And that was working like 2 jobs per day. So, like, I would, like, end one job and go to another job. And, yeah, it was the worst. Kyle, yeah, it happens, man. I definitely knew a guy who was, pretty much bald in high school. It happens, for sure. But yeah, leaning into it tends to be better, that's all. E-Rock, I was in my mid to late 20s when I was doing that. God, this would have been about 2010, About 2010 to 2013, I did that sort of thing. And hated it. Vegeta, thank you for the follow. So if I'm about to be 34. If I'm about to be 34, and that was like 10 years ago. So it would have been, yeah, my mid-20s. About the ages 24 to 26 is about when I was doing that. And that's not for everybody. Some people can manage it. But again, I've never felt the need to work that much. That's all. I'd rather be relatively poor but be happier, is what I've found in my life, but that's all. Lonzo, you were working towards a house. That is a noble goal, man. So I totally get that. I hope it works out for you. Getting a house is a big deal. I don't have a house. And I can't foresee myself getting a house anytime soon. Oh, Kyle, gotcha. Well, he'll get there eventually. You know, it is, I mean, it's really hard, and in some cases very unfair to people who are having to deal with that, especially people who have to deal with that at such, so early an age. That's really not easy, and there's not a whole lot of support for people going through that kind of thing, so it's very tough. Alonzo, all right, man, thank you so much, and we'll catch you next time as well, dude. Good luck out there. Hope you have some good shiny hunts coming up, if you're shiny hunting anytime soon. Oh, Kyle, he does have a massive beard. Oh, okay. Well, that's you can have like some kind of Viking look. I don't know. That guy, there's a lot of people that totally shaved the head and then had the big beard. Is he like? Does he have a redneck beard? Is he like got one of those big Duck Dynasty beards, kind of things? Yeah, that totally works with the totally shaved head. Absolutely, man. Josh, you laugh. You laugh about cheesecake and lasagna. I had a relatively similar experience one time. Oh man, this was one of the worst moments of my childhood. King Bonnie, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you coming out. So growing up, my mother was always the one that cooked in the household. She just always did, and I love my mother's cooking. What are you gonna do? And my father didn't do that much, which, my mother, she was a, stay-at-home mom, which is an important job in its own right. We're raising 4 kids is not an easy task, making sure everybody's, fed, clothed, gets to school, etc. Right? My mother always did the cooking. And my father didn't at all. He could cook 1 or 2 things okay, but not much. He just didn't do it. So, when my mom went out of town to visit her parents one year when we were kids, I was about 8 or 10 years old at this point, I think. That means my dad was left at home to fend for himself. And my dad's always been kind of a cheapskate too. I mean, again, I think this side effect of having 4 kids or whatever. We can't really spend money going out to eat all the time. So my dad therefore felt the need to cook at home. Luna the Husky, thank you for the follow. So he decides that the thing he's gonna do is make a lot of kind of casserole dishes, things you can make a lot of at once, and then save for a couple of meals, save for lunches, that sort of thing. And so my father decides he's gonna make a lasagna. He gets all the stuff for the lasagna. He gets the lasagna noodles. He gets the tomato sauce, etc. He starts building the lasagna. Comes to realize that there's one very important lasagna ingredient he has forgotten. And that is the ricotta cheese, the thing that kind of goes in between all the layers of the lasagna. And so he thinks on his feet. He says, well, what's a great substitute that I can use for ricotta cheese? He thinks. He looks in the fridge, There's not much there. But there is a dairy product. And he says, ricotta cheese? Dairy product. The stuff I found in the fridge? Also dairy product. So it should go great. Problem being, this dairy product happened to be yogurt. French vanilla yogurt. And my father went through with the plan, and he made the lasagna with the French vanilla yogurt from the fridge. And at first, you know, it came out of the oven, and he said, he said, okay, I worked very hard at this. We're going to eat this. And we took a bite, and all of a sudden, grimaces around the table. And he says, well, I worked very hard at this. You know, we're going to eat it. And then he takes a bite out of it, and he says, nope, never mind. Sorry, everybody. That one's on me. Nobody has to eat this awful thing that just came out of the oven. I don't know what we did at that point. I don't know if we ordered pizza or what. But since for the last 20 years or so, we have this legend in my household you know, if something goes wrong or somewhat awry, at least it's not French vanilla lasagna. So now we know. We're never gonna forget it. Anyway, dark version, your dad would get you wieners and cook them over a stove instead of using a fork. Which is something. I suppose you can do that. Gets you those nice char grill marks that you always wanted. Anyway, that was that was super gross when we were kids. And we've kind of never let my dad forget it. But he's gotten better. He's gotten better at following recipes at least, so there's that. Yeah, my dad makes hot dogs just fine. That was the only incident. Well, alright, that was one of two incidents that happened during that one-week period when my mom was out of town. The other one was seeing the need for us kids to, you know, grow up young and, you know, big and strong, and needing vegetables in our life. He grabbed a bag of frozen corn from the freezer and decided he was going to make up the frozen corn that was in the bag. Which he did not realize that my mom had kept in there for at least a year at that point, if not more, as the go-to bag for treating bruises and scrapes and other injuries. That was our cold compress, was a bag of frozen, you know, shucked corn. So, there was that too. That was, freezer burned is putting it lightly. Mantagora, want a bird fact of the day. Let me see if I can come up with something, man. And Kyle, yes, plain yogurt would have been probably fine, right? But it was not plain yogurt. It was French vanilla yogurt. That's probably where my dad made the mistake. He probably thought it was plain yogurt or something. You think that the yogurt lasagna thing is gonna be in the clip? I don't know. I can't judge reactions to it anymore because to me I'm so jaded to it. I'm like, oh yeah, French vanilla yogurt or French vanilla lasagna, like that definitely that happened. It's a fact of life. But the people outside of my life who have not had that experience, I can't imagine what your reaction must be to that story. But it's become normalized in my life. Just a little bit. Fizz, yes, my father cooked 1-year-old corn. Yeah, that's correct. I mean, frozen corn. But yes. It did not taste good. Oh, man. No, Kyle, it's a good thing. I kind of had to teach myself. And so I wish I had had a little more teaching when I was a kid. But I can make some things pretty good. And I definitely am not going to use 1-year-old corn or French vanilla ever. Yeah, in my lasagna. So I've learned a couple of lessons over the years. I don't know. There's some things that seems like they ought to be common sense, right? E-Rock, you think life advice should also be in the clip. There's a lot of life advice. I don't know if I can cut that down. I can cut that French lasagna, the French vanilla lasagna story. I can cut that down to size. That was a lot of life advice, though. Kyle, what desserts? I mean, I think if you're going to use corn as a base for desserts, you're going to have to, you know, grind it down into like a paste or something. I have not had too many corn desserts. Ursus, what is going on, man? It's good to see you, dude. And Fizz, why they celebrate K-pop emotes, I do not know. But they did not come from this channel. Penguin King, what's going on, dude? And Persona, what is my favorite food? People know what my favorite food is. People can tell me. Somebody tell me right now. What is my favorite food? I know y'all have heard it before. And in fact, my birthday's coming up. I think it's about time to get a little more of it. It's not sushi. I do love me some sushi. And definitely not lasagna after the experiences I've had. Getting close. People are getting close. Get some tacos, quesadillas. Nate has it. Enchiladas. Cheese enchiladas are my thing. They're perfect. I love that chili sauce that goes on the enchiladas. And you just stuff a bunch of cheese up in a corn tortilla, cover it in chili sauce, the enchilada sauce, and they're amazing. Alex, that's okay. As you know, outside of the United States, I think that's not... If you're not used to those two foods, I can see how you get them confused. Really, the ingredients in both of them are not that different from each other. Anyway. Nate, you win bragging rights. You win the right to go get yourself some enchiladas. Kind of a lot of Eastern cultures use corn for desserts. Interesting. Corn ice cream. Interesting. I mean, I like corn. But corn ice cream seems like a little much. Although I know in Asia, I don't know if they got different opinions on what ice cream can be. Because I know in like Japan, you can get just like all kind of ice cream. Wasabi ice cream. I'm sure you could get like a fish flavored ice cream. You know, sesame seed ice cream, what have you. So... And maybe corn ice cream, I suppose. I would not be surprised if that were the case. Elite Spectrum, I mean, wasabi, think about it, really. That, like, giant pile of green wasabi, if you dolled that up a little bit, would not look too different in texture or appearance from ice cream. So you could give somebody just a big thing of pure, just green horseradish wasabi and watch them die inside when they eat it. E-Rock, well, there's definitely, I mean, even in the United States, I think there's bacon-flavored ice cream out there. So you could do that if you wanted. I also think it would be weird. That kind of savory taste in ice cream form? Yeah. Fizz, what I think about deep-fried Oreos, I've never had them. Despite the fact that I live in a southern state, and frying everything is a southern staple, you go to the state fair, you can buy, you know, deep-fried Oreos, deep-fried Snickers bars. Hell, you can even buy, if you really wanted, a deep-fried, straight-up stick of butter. Butter. A stick of butter, deep-fried. If that doesn't induce a coronary, I don't know what will. It sounds gross to me, though, so I've never tried any of those things. That is not my style. But somebody likes them. Dark version, your mom ate wasabi thinking it was guac. Oh, that sucks so bad. Guac, especially my homemade guac that I make myself, is among the best things ever. But holy shit. Expecting guac and eating wasabi instead must be awful. Gallardo Cuneo, can you buy deep fry? I suppose you could. You could just, like, deep fry a little kernel of something, and then wrap that in more breading, and then deep fry that. That's it's a double fry. I think they double fry things. Kyle, I suppose you're right. I've had, like, corn pudding before, and it's actually pretty good. There's this place in there's this barbecue place around here that does a really good corn pudding, and so I could definitely see that. E-Rock, yes, you are going to get. You are going. I'm not saying that you can't have deep fried butter like once in your life, but if you keep eating deep fried bullshit, you are going to die. That's just gonna happen. Nate, I bet you it exists too, is the thing. Anything wrapped in bacon. I just saw the Binging with Babish April Fool's Day episode where he makes a loaf that is basically mashed potatoes on the inside, and that it's like a beef Wellington that's mashed potatoes on the inside instead of beef, and then wrapped in bacon on the outside instead of wrapped in pastry, and I would totally be down for that. It looked good as hell. Matter of fact. Oh, that's true. Yeah, there was some other dude in the video. I assume it was like the intern or something, or somebody on their production crew. But you're right, I forgot about that. Yeah, the Babish himself wasn't in that episode. But it still looked delicious as hell. So, Kyle, you have ended up like this because you watch a lot of cooking stuff. Well, there you go, man. So you know, there's a lot of options out there. Some good stuff. Corn pudding sounds pretty good. Where are you? Son of a gun. I can't believe I'm like, goddamn, I'm 400 encounters removed from odds at this point, and I still have like about 1,000 encounters to go before I hit double odds. This is killer, guys. It's gonna happen. You gotta go over odds at some point. But holy shit, when I go over odds, I don't like it. I know everybody else, I know I've been lucky, and a lot of other people have had a lot of worse hunts recently. But now it's happening to me. Fifi, you like Demiranchi to Cocina. Is that also bacon? Isn't Cocina, is that, means pig? Or something like that. So it's gotta be pork-based. Or maybe it's not pig. It means old woman. Shit. Mexican old woman cooking. That sounds like good shit to me, man. Cocina means kitchen. Gotcha. So, I don't know if you know this, but I didn't take Spanish as a kid, so that would do it. No, there was, when I was growing up and visiting my grandparents in San Diego, there was a spot that they would take us, and there was this old lady who ran a tortilla cart, and it was like the best thing I've ever had, right? All you would do is come up to the lady and say, "Hey, I want a tortilla," and she'd ladle out this big, you know, she'd ladle out this this dough. I guess it's called dough. The tortilla mixture out of this big, you know, vat. Lay it down on the griddle that she had there. You know, watch her fry up. Flip it over. Then when it was done, pick it up. You know, slap a little salsa in there, and then hand it to you. That was it. It was not like you didn't get tacos with fancy meats and vegetables or anything like that. It was literally just fresh tortillas with a dash of salsa in there. And it was like the best shit I have ever had. Man. That's the only time I've ever had fresh tortillas before. Every other time it's just been like packaged tortillas that you throw on the, griddle for a sec. And that's good. It's obviously good, but it's not. It's just got nothing on the fresh stuff. Dark version, is that how a lot of people grow up? Just tortillas and salt. Yeah, it happens, man. And at least it's good. Relatively healthy, I suppose. I guess you're not getting all your nutrients, but better than eating processed shit that you get from the stores nowadays. Persona, we already talked about my favorite food. Oh no, least favorite food this time. Shit. Least favorite food. Trying to think of something that I'll just never ever eat. Because I hate it. I don't like coffee. But that's not really a food, so that kind of doesn't count. What do I just not like? I mean, I'll eat almost anything. I'll at least try something once. Well, yogurt lasagna doesn't help. And actually, since then, I have, in fact, developed a reversion to yogurt. Oh, or aversion, I should say. I've developed an aversion to yogurt. There is a food, though, that I'll just not eat and actually makes me sick to my stomach. To look at it or smell it or anything like that. And it stems from a similar experience, a bad experience I had when I was a kid, where I may have accidentally eaten some and then ralphed it all up. But popcorn. I can't eat popcorn. Ever since I was a kid and I had that bad experience, I can't eat popcorn. I can't eat, I can't even smell it. I hate it. I don't like being in the same room as it. If we go to the movie theater, somebody gets popcorn, that person gets to have all their popcorn because I ain't touching it. So, popcorn for me. Kyle, I don't know. I like flour tortillas just fine. And I like corn tortillas. I like them both. I actually had corn tortillas today. I got some tacos today from a taco truck that I hadn't been to. It's actually the taco truck near my work. And I just happened to be going by there from one site to another. And I said, damn, I'm getting some of these tacos. And they were legit. They were exactly what I needed. Nephilim, no, not caramel corn. No popcorn whatsoever. God forbid that it is somehow sweeter than normal popcorn too. None of it. I think I had some bad popcorn butter is what done it. Anyway, I learned my lesson. So, regardless, guys, that is 1800 right there, and that is going to be our stopping point for today. We'll be back tomorrow with more of this, but until then, let's go ahead and raid somebody who's doing a really cool, shiny hunt. This looks dope as hell. And we're definitely going to go raid this. Guys, I want you to, Ramya, go show the streamer some love with, I can't do that right, with the message, Kangas Kid 18, I can't type today, sends over the Kangas crew. Thanks for coming out tonight, guys, and as always, we're going to see you on the next Shiny.